In this final episode of the calendar year, I want to talk about why questions are so important for us as Christians and also have a word about Christmas. Stay tuned. Hello, friends. Pastor Tim Westermeyer here, Senior Pastor of St. Philip Deacon in the western suburbs of Minneapolis. Good to be with you as always. We're recording this in the middle of December, which means a few things. One, it means I've got a cold, which has been bequeathed to me by my lovely daughter, Sarah. I actually feel better, I think, than I sound, so I apologize for my voice. Second, this timing means that this will actually be the last episode of 2025, and so I will say a little more about that in a minute. It's also the week before Christmas, of course, and I'll also offer a few suggestions about how you might join us for worship at Christmas next week, which I hope you will do. As we approach the end of this year, though, what I'm thinking about today is some wonderful, wonderful interactions I've been having with one gentleman by text. I actually got another text message from someone else this past week, which have given me a chance in conversation and dialogue with them to sort of plumb the depths of some really important and meaningful theological questions. And I certainly have a chance to do that periodically, maybe more than periodically, with members of this congregation. And I just have to say what an incredible privilege it is to be able to enter into those discussions and conversations and legitimately deep questions about issues of faith. And I'm reminded a couple of episodes now, I can't remember how many it was, we talked about a gentleman named John Henry Newman, who was just made a doctor of the church. Maybe we'll link to that episode if you missed it. But one of the things he talks about as it relates to Christian doctrine or the development of theology, he calls it the play of lively minds, by which he means, theological truth is not simply limited to what's in the pages of a book, but rather it comes to life precisely when believers, or maybe believers and non-believers, engage with one another and talk about those deep issues, and over time maybe allow those issues to come to a different place for them in their own hearts and minds. And so I think it's part of the joy of having these discussions and conversations for me is it forces me to reflect deeply on what exactly it is I do believe, and then try at least to communicate it in a way that will make sense to other people. And so to those of you who have been reaching out to me, who have been corresponding with me, who have had wonderful, thoughtful, intelligent questions, I just want to say thank you. And for that matter, for all of you who engage these episodes, this platform, by observing, by watching, maybe by sending in comments, maybe by communicating with me by text or email, I'm so profoundly grateful for the opportunity every week to lift up some small idea about our Christian faith and hopefully help people to think about it a little more deeply. And I'm grateful for the questions that all of you send in. So I'm sort of reflecting on that, I guess, again, as we come to the end of another year. And I'm looking forward to more of these episodes in the new year and more engagement with you and responding to whatever questions you may have in 2026. All right. Again, I mentioned that we are approaching Christmas, so I certainly, as a pastor, have that on my mind as we're anticipating one of the biggest days of the Christian calendar. And I just want to make sure that if you're watching this, that you know how much we would love to have you join us in worship. The day before we taped this, we did our annual Blue Christmas service. That's available online, I think, if you'd like to see it. It's actually an incredibly beautiful introspective, quiet, gentle service specifically for people who are mourning or grieving and for whom Christmas maybe is not filled with joy, but maybe reminds you of a deep loss. So even if you weren't able to join us in person, please check that out. And maybe we'll try to provide a link to that in the description below. And then next week, again, we certainly have a number of services on Christmas Eve. That's Wednesday, the 24th of December. We have an 11 o'clock children's service, and then we have services at 2, 4, 5:30, 7:30, 9, and 11. And you can learn more about those on our website. They're all fundamentally the same. They all have Holy Communion. Christmas Day, we have an 11 a.m. service, and then the following weekend after Christmas, so that's the 27th and 28th, we do a sort of a fun series of services throughout the weekend that we call our Liturgy of Carols, where we sing some carols from the season of Christmas, and we talk a little bit about what each of them means. So, again, I hope you'll join us for one or maybe multiple of those services a little bit early. I do extend my Christmas blessings to you and yours. I hope it's a wonderful celebration with family and friends. And looking out a little bit further, I wish you all the best in the new year, and I will look forward to seeing you, as I said, in early 2026. Thanks for being with me today, and as always, be well, stay in touch, and God bless.